Well, hello YouTube. Good morning. Here we are. We have ourselves a start to another beautiful day. They're saying we're not supposed to get any rain today. However, enjoy it while it lasts, because we're supposed to get her in the next couple of days. And yeah, welcome to our vlog. So here we go. Well, of course, over the last couple of days, been doing what I can. With the weather change as well as other things going on. Sometimes it's difficult to get out and enjoy the things you used to enjoy or normally would enjoy, or even have the want, if you want to say, to participate in things you would have normally participated in. Just as an example, last year at this time, I had already been out with the bike and the trailer, doing my nightly rides and stuff. And this year, well, the trailer's over there in the corner, and well, the bike's hanging up. Haven't even gone through it for this year at all. It's kind of the way it is, right? Maybe I have underlying issues that I need to deal with. There's been a lot of stuff going on or gone on this year, and some of it I've been able to have shed and dealt with. Others I am waiting to deal with as time goes on, and some of it I have, what do you want to do, what do you want to say, hid it, bottled it up. Put it down deep. I am not a real emotional person, as in laughing and crying and freaking out per se. I try to keep my emotions in check. Sometimes they're bottled up, sometimes they shouldn't be bottled up. It's not good to keep, well, things bottled up, because, well, they do and can come to a head at the least opportune time. And when that happens, quite often it's never a good thing. There are some things in my life that I've never talked about, and some things in my life that I refuse to talk about too. And you kind of suppress those kind of things, and eventually they can come back to get you. It's just kind of the way I am, or the way our family is. We don't seek outside help, third-party help, as much as possible. And even trying to deal with things at a family level is next to impossible as well, because, well, we don't do those kind of things, right? I always try to run my channels as true to me as possible, meaning that if you were to run into me on the street, in a grocery store or in another city or wherever, the person you'd meet there was the person, or very close to being the same person that you've seen and heard in, well, all of my videos going back, 7 years, right? I refuse to play a part to get views, or act a goof to get views, or leech myself onto another successful person or YouTuber to get the views or the subscribers. When I started this channel out, like I said, I wanted to be as true to me as possible and do it on my own. Yes, after, 7 years or so, I should have more subscribers. But at the same time, every subscriber that I have I've basically done it on my own. There have been a couple of semi shoutouts from, stickers or decals that I've sent to other YouTubers. But at the same time, it's not like I gained, 3,000 or 4,000 overnight from these people. I may have gained 1 or 2 people, and sometimes they stuck around, and sometimes they didn't. The majority of the subscribers I have, probably a good 98% of them, came from people finding my channels, watching my videos, whichever ones they may have been, and subscribing and staying around. Leave your comment below on where you've seen my video from, how you found out about my channel. Which video was it that you seen that was first of mine? Who you found out about my channels from? Leave a comment down below. It'll be interesting to know, a kind of thing. Some YouTubers, they latch on to another person that's more popular, that has 50,000-60,000 subscribers or more, and do whatever it takes to get noticed. And I never did that. Partly to do with, well, it's not the way I am. I can live well without being the center of social attention. I can live far beyond being around people, and that's just the way I am. As well as I live in a town of about 30,000 people, give or take, and virtually in the middle of nowhere. A town called Lloydminster, well, Alberta, Saskatchewan. We're kind of a unique border city, kind of straddling a province of Alberta and Saskatchewan. And yes, there is another YouTuber or two close by. However, I have reached out to these people and I never got a reply back. So just assume, I guess, I'm by myself, right? And when you search my little town in the YouTube search bar, nothing really comes up in terms of other YouTube content creators. There's shaky cell phone video of the courthouse shooting, or 30-second clip of the demo derbies, or whatever, maybe a clip of one of the hockey games or so, but nothing, no other real content creators. And I knew that when I started YouTube that it would be a solo project. There'd never be a co-pilot along for the ride. There'd never be another person to help out. I would be on my own, and I've lived my whole life pretty much that way. People come into my life, they're around for a few years or whatever, and then they leave too. So you soon get used to being by yourself, or if there is someone around, then it's kind of hard to allow them to get close, because you're afraid, if you want to say, that they're going to leave too. It's just the way it's always been, right? And well, as for personal details in my my life, well, I try to keep it off YouTube. Even if you look at my Facebook profile, there is a presence there, but personal details on Facebook profile are at a very minimum in terms of status updates saying whatever or so. And I had a chance the other day, I could have posted something to do with the job interview, wish me luck and all this stuff, and then a few days later I could have posted something like, well, there goes my chance, or struck out again, or whatever. But what for? Just so you can get people to comment, get the sympathy vote. You see people do that all the time, and whether it's misleading statuses or cliffhanger type statuses, like they post a picture of their car and say somebody stole my wheels, and meantime everybody's giving them sympathy that someone stole their wheels, and it just turned out that they jacked it up because they're taking the winter wheels off and putting the summer tires on, and it's like, really? You know? And they're just wanting the attention, right? Well, that's not the way I am. Yes, okay, fine, I have posted photos of my projects, and I have posted photos of the truck and that, but at the same time, that's kind of something in my life that I'm proud of, right? And it kind of is what it is, right? If other people can post game requests or copy and paste links to clickbait videos, well, then I can share what's going on in my life that I want to share with the general public. As for talking about my job and stuff, well, I never really have. In the beginning, if you watch some of my vlog videos, you could tell where I was working at the time, obviously by the background of what was going on. And then after that, I started a vlog in the vehicle, which cut the background out, and kept that job from being public, if you want to say. I had my fair share of yahoos and idiots at that first job because they found out where I worked, and there was no need for their bull that they were doing because, you know, they're just morons, right? Living in their parents' basements or leeching off their girlfriends or whatever their problems were. And the other job I had, well, never really did make it to air per se. There was a few vlogs, like I said, in the vehicle and all, but I would have liked to show them more in depth and kind of showed the process of how everything worked out, but it's not worth the hassle that could happen from all the people. You know, like I said, we've all gone through a lot of things in our lives, and I've shared what I can on YouTube, and I shared what I feel like sharing on YouTube as well, in terms about talking about like powers that be and stuff like that. Well, there's no way I am naming companies or naming people in what I say, because all it takes is one moron to watch my videos and link, you know, what I've said to these people, and then these people have a complete flake out because, well, I told the truth, and there's somebody out there that's not afraid to stand up to these big corporate companies and show them, well, what they're doing to the little guy. However, in the grand scheme of things, it really doesn't make a difference whether you stand up to these guys anyway, because, well, they're right and you're automatically wrong. But as for my style of videos, well, they are what they are, and I don't really foresee them changing in the immediate future at all. They'd probably stand a better chance of stopping altogether than my style changing, because, well, my so-called style is what it is. It's been developed over the last, 6-7 years. It's been, changing and picking up new things, new camera gear, new whatevers, trying different angles, trying different things, editing softwares and stuff, and it is what works for me, and will be what it is. However, that being said, I am open to suggestions. I am open to your input and stuff. There have been things in the past that I've changed based on what people have said or suggested, whether it's cameras or editing software or whatever, topics and stuff, and it's just, it is what it is. In terms of picking a subject and talking about it in my vlog, while the vlog style, again, is not about a topic-based vlog, it's about a vlog essentially of, what my day entailed. And some of us live a very busy life where there's a lot going on, and then some of us don't live a busy life at all. We have periods of downtime where there's not a lot going on at all, almost periods of boredom. And during that periods of boredom, well, that's when the old camera comes out, and you shoot, well, a week's worth of videos, and then you know, space them on out and put them up to the YouTube. Well, that being said, of course, today I would like to do some more work on the project. For those that have been watching my videos, I've been talking about the project a lot, and for those that have joined up with social media, you guys will know what the project is about. Taking a bit of a different direction with the whole approach. Some people don't agree with what I'm doing, and others are rather intrigued, and they want to follow with the group and stay around for a bit and see how it goes. It's a little bit of a unique approach to the way things work, as well as will turn out to be different when it's all said and done. So pretty much, guys, of course, I'm gonna go make me a coffee and get the day rolling. I got to build a custom jig to do some cutting, as well as throw some measurements to get things going and rolling, and we'll see where the day takes us from here. A little bit of a closing update. Well, of course, today was a good day. A little bit of a what do you want to call her, short for the vlogging day, but hey, that's sometimes the way she rolls. Well, of course, got up in the morning and did a couple of things. Came out here on the project and worked on building a jig so I can continue doing what I need to do. I know it doesn't look like much. Essentially, it's a 4x8 platform where you could throw a sheet of plywood on here and do some cutting, or throw a sheet of plywood on here and have yourself a work surface. Probably the weakest part of this whole thing is, of course, the sawhorses themselves. They do have a tendency of folding up by themselves, but you know, that's the way she goes. Then, of course, I did some more measuring and planning, double checking my measurements, making sure everything is working the way that I want it to, or supposed to work out the way I want it to. And then, of course, I ended up getting too hot. Once again, overheated on with the heat and stuff. So I ended up shutting her down basically for the day. It only cooled down probably about a half hour, 45 minutes ago. Currently we're getting ourselves light rain that they are saying it's supposed to carry on through all the way over till tomorrow, which is not a bad thing, I suppose. With my little setup that I got going on in here, I can work inside the garage here for the bulk of the day. With it raining, it should be nice and cool. I do still have my heater, so if it does get damp, I can fire up the heater and get some heat. There will be nothing happening tomorrow on the project that is going to need a lot of space. I got a bunch of angled cuts to make, and I need to make me a run down to the lumber yard. However, if it is raining, then that won't happen till the rain stops. Well, kind of continuing with our conversation or topic we had earlier on today about the whole YouTube thing, the whole vlogging thing. I had started the vlogging channel to fill a gap, the gap between Maxwell's World videos. And the Maxwell's World videos, well, sometimes it would be a month and a half, 2 months, 3 months before I'd film another batch of videos, because I'd film a whole ton of them and then stop and then upload those ones and then film some more. So during that time, I essentially was getting bored. I didn't really have anything to do, nothing to keep myself sharp, or the challenge of doing it, or keeping in the groove, routine if you want to say. And I had started watching other people vlog as well, and I thought, well, hey, this is kind of interesting, right? Let's give it a shot. So I tried vlogging for a month, and at the end of the month, of course, you really don't have a complete feel for it. But at the end of the month, you have a little bit of, idea, and you think, well, let's keep going. So, of course, you keep going. And after a year or two, you got your foot in the door. You kind of understand what it's like and all that stuff. You have learned from the other people who have done the vlogs on their mistakes, like, i.e. giving out too much personal information, telling people where you work, stuff like that, and learning from their mistakes about getting trolled by idiots that have nothing better to do than to, yell at their mom to bring them down another Hot Pocket. Well, they're trying to be Mr. T on Facebook, right? So, of course, I kind of did my own thing. Really didn't copy anybody else's style, obviously. Kind of found my own groove, and, well, here we are. Basically 6 years later. Now, of course, vlog 1000 is coming up in another 40 vlogs, roughly. As well as, I think that equals out to approximately 2.5 or so months. So come vlog 1000, I will probably reevaluate things. I'm not really one to quit or to stop doing stuff. However, with things going on the way they've been going on, the fact that my routine has changed from what it used to be. There's no longer, the getting up in the morning and going. There's no longer that type of routine. A lot of my activities that I used to do are, at a minimum as well, especially in the last year. And I've said it in other vlogs, I find my vlogging ability here lately is very limited on what can be done. So maybe come vlog 1000, like I said, we will reevaluate things and maybe consider stopping. The Maxwell's World will still be around. I don't really have any plans as of right yet or now to stop the Maxwell's World side of videos. The Fire Pit channel will probably take a break as it normally does. However, it will resume, once again, hopefully a lot quicker and sooner than what it did last time. And we'll kind of play it by ear, and we'll see how it goes from there. If things do pick up, then, well, I'll start vlogging again. You get yourself back in a routine, you have yourself a job that gives you the time or allows you the space to vlog, then a guy can do it. If you're working a job that you're working long hours where you don't have the opportunity or the chance to vlog, then you got to do something different. The job that I had a chance to work here, it would have been a whole complete change. And I mean complete on all fronts. The vlogs would have had to have stopped, which is not a bad thing. The Maxwell's World videos might have been able to have survived. However, the scheduling might have to change from being every second day to just during weekdays or something. Just to take the pressure off how many videos I have to shoot and when they have to go live. However, that kind of fell through in a good way. Everything tends to work itself out in the end. Putting out that kind of so-called investment is not something that I can afford to do right now. Or really I should do right now. You do have the chance to get back to work, which is good for everything. However, there'd be such a drain financially to start up costs that it would probably take you 3 or 4 years to recover what you had to put out. And you would probably never really fully recover the cost of having to buy the new vehicle and everything again, because that new vehicle would be wore out in such a short time that you'd have to buy another one and then another one once again. So that cost there would be, you know, way too much. So I'm going to put this out there. I'll probably drop a little bit of a thing on the social medias. What would you guys say to do for vlog 1000? You know, I don't really travel in terms of too far. There's a few things planned this year for outings that I would like to do. However, those outing videos will be up on the Maxwell's World channel if everything works out the way I want them to. Should I just shut her down at vlog 1000? And, you know, it was a good run. It was what it was. It is what it is. The vlogging channel will never be a money maker. And YouTube itself will never pay the bills in terms of bringing, you know, the massive coin. That's just the way it is, or the way it, you know, was for my area. If I lived in a larger city and had, you know, larger people to leech off of, then, you know, maybe there'd be a chance to get, you know, 50,000 subs or, you know, 150,000 subs. It is what it is. I knew that when I started this channel, and that wasn't the whole reason for starting the whole YouTube venture. I wanted to bring what I was doing, my world, if you want to say, to somebody who could not leave the house to experience it. To somebody that basically was missing out on a lot of things, a lot of adventures that they used to go on, and could not come out of the house to see my projects and stuff. So that was why I started doing the video series and, you know, the Maxwell's World channel. And it kind of took off from there. And now that person is gone, you know, and YouTube is doing what it's doing, then, well, you never know, right? The future's unknown. We will have to reevaluate things at that time, and around we go. Well, we'll have to see what tomorrow holds. Like I said, got a few things I'm wanting to do. I want to make me a run down to lumber store, pick up some goodies. I need to check me the fan mail box. You never know, my golden ticket might be there. And, well, we'll have to see how she goes, and around we roll. And as always, thanks for watching Maxwell's Vlogs. Comment, subscribe, and enjoy.